Hey guys, Aloha Friday. Just wanted to jump on here and just connect and, just in really good energy. And so just wanted to say hello. I think I did make this public, didn't I? I might have forgotten to make it public. Um, uh-oh. I actually have no idea if it's public or not. Um, is there a way to check without going offline? I don't know if there's a way to check without going offline. I swore I made this public. Um, Maybe I did not. I don't think I did. Okay, I'll be. Oh, wait. I see somebody. Is this public? Okay, it is public. Okay, there we go. Hey, I can see you. Hi. Maybe it was just a little delayed. I was like, oh, I'm just talking to myself. Anyway, Aloha Friday, everybody. Oh yeah, there we go. It just jumped from like 1 to 20 people. I just did the weekly messages. Well, not just, like maybe like, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes ago. So that's posted on Patreon right now. And I was just sitting here. I'm just like feeling the countdown to leaving to Sedona for the retreat that I'm co-hosting. I know I've been talking about this a lot, but it's like, it's a big focus for me right now. And I was just sitting here and just feeling the emotion of it. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, because it's a big first for me. It's a milestone for sure, for me and also Jai, the person that I'm co-hosting with. And it's just like, whoa. Like, I'm kind of just really feeling um, the magnitude of it, like what it means for me, like as a person. So yeah, I'm just sitting with it, and just feeling a lot of gratitude for being able to do it, and feeling a lot of gratitude for all the support that I've received for the last 4 years. That's really enabled me to get to this point to be able to do it. And it's like it's just kind of tripping me out. It's really tripping me out. Good luck with Sedona. Thank you, and everyone's journeys during your retreat. Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, blessing to you all. Yes, blessings all around. Blessings all around. I was waiting for this. You were? I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about. It was more just like, I just knew I had to hop on. So many things I could talk about. You guys know I like to talk. But yeah, just feeling so much gratitude. And I'm also been so in tune with the energies that are coming in right now for the collective. And they're big, right? Like, they're really, really big energies. And they're really important and significant. And also, I don't want to hype it up to the point where like people start getting anxiety about it, you know? And I talked about that in the weekly too. Um, but yeah, like this Lionsgate, this week, this new moon, like this year, this year in its entirety, uh, is super, super important and significant for people to really be catalyzed into a sense of oneness and wholeness, and to be catalyzed into living in a much more present, aware, peaceful, like just state of being, and to come together as a collective to facilitate that. Like, we've been in this process for a while, and we're going to continue to be in this process, right? Until it's really solidified in our physical reality. But like, this year just feels like a big year for this process. And I'm feeling, at least for me personally, what's on the other side of this particular like next couple of weeks. And it's big and it's cool and it's something I've been waiting for. And so I'm just like, whoa, like I've just been taking it in. I've just been integrating it. Um, Wait, what's my Mercury? Scorpio. Scorpio. Can I ask your? Oh, but my Mars is Gemini. That's why I'm so chatty. Can I ask your thoughts on nocturnal body clocks? On nocturnal body clocks. I mean, everybody's body's different. You know, everybody's body is different. Everybody has different needs when it comes to sleep, and that's dependent on so many things. That's down to like your physical habits, but also energetically, like what jives with you. Like, for me, I am definitely an anomaly when it comes to sleep and my circadian rhythm. And that's for many reasons, but I've been like that since I was a kid. So I think it's really person dependent. I wish I could do the retreat. I need to plan for next year. There's gonna be more, guys. Oh my god! Like, again, just excited of what I'm feeling is coming for me. There's definitely gonna be more. Like, I can't imagine there not being more. And I was actually thinking about that today when I was working out. I actually had a workout today, and I started getting into like this meditative state, and suddenly Archangel Michael was coming in, and I was like, oh. And it was like, because I'm working on a trainer right now, and I was like, oh, I don't have time for this communicate right now. But I was getting like these little glimpses and feelings of of the possibilities, right? Um, yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of retreats. I don't think like incessantly a lot. I'm thinking probably like 4 a year is kind of what I was thinking. Oh, just as I said that, the sun just blinded me. Oh my god! Talk about like literally just sun all in my eyes. Uh, talk about a synchronicity. So yeah, so yeah. I remember because mine is Scorpio too, but Aries is a great proactive placement. Yeah, like anybody who's got a fire in their chart, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jelly. I've got Jupiter and Leo as my only fire placement. It's my only one. I do wish I had a little bit more fire sometimes because I could really use some of that extra boost of productivity. But my Scorpion Capricorn tends to keep me pretty focused. I thought it was Aries. Oh, yep, nope, it's Scorpio. Part of my Scorp stellium. But yeah, this is gonna be a really cool like Leo season, and I know it's gonna be different for everybody. I don't expect everybody to have like a sunshine and rainbows experience, pun intended, with the Rainbow Bridge channeling that I received. Which I don't even know how well I talked about that. I think I was in such the throes of excitement that I don't think I articulated myself very well, so I don't know exactly what I said about it. Um, but yeah, I this is just a window of really great opportunity for everybody. So however anyone utilizes that is to their own free will, you know. I would hope that everybody uses it to just, keep pursuing fulfillment and happiness and to do what they can to assist the collective and also just look out for themselves too. But to each their own, right? Everybody's in a different place. I'm Aries rising, hoping to get energy from this Leo season, but the one who dumped me is Leo sun. Oh, don't even worry about them. Don't even worry about them. There's gonna be all kinds of interesting relationships coming in with the next like few weeks. Because Uranus is aspecting Venus, Jupiter is doing a lot of stuff. Like there's gonna be a lot of interesting, like new people coming into everybody's realities, whether it's short term or long term. But that's gonna be a thing for sure. Happy to see you, sis. Happy to see you too. Hi. Cancer Sun, Pisces Moon, and Gemini Rising. Oh, that'd be an interesting chart. Got that double water going on. Stranger danger. I'm excited for that though. It's like I welcome having all kinds of new people in my reality personally. Like I'm so open to that because like there's so much cool shit that could be happening right now. Whether you're gonna collaborate or you just have some really beautiful, intimate interactions with people, not just necessarily sexually either. But it's connection, that's connection. We all need connection, like we're human beings. I'm learning about patience right now. Patience is important. Patience is definitely important. That's been a big one for me too. Trying to just be patient and like trust and not get too like not think about things too much. You're a Scorp Venus. I do like Scorp Venuses. Venus Scorpios. I really resonate with that energy. Whoa. Sorry, I was trying to read some and then like bloop, bloop, bloop. The Leo who proposed but changed his mind. Yeah. He's in another timeline already. So like, don't worry about it. They're in another timeline. You're gonna hop on a new one probably. That's the other cool thing about right now too. Like, the chance to jump to another like higher timeline. Like after this weird timeline shit we've had for the last few weeks, I definitely felt like there was really strange glitchy distortions that were happening, and it was really bizarre to experience that. But with this Rainbow Bridge, it's like I'm ready for I'm ready for a higher timeline. Like I'm ready to jump back to where I thought I was originally, and then got placed in this weird cockamamie place. Like I'm ready. I'm so ready for that. I'm loving hearing this as I have social anxiety and stay away from large groups. Spontaneously booked a 2-day camping festival. Oh, that sounds like fun. I don't know exactly when it's at, but yeah, this is a great time to socialize. It is the Amanda Grace Arc Ministries. Love your show. Oh, she's got a show? Hold on a second. Let me go back up here. I'll check your channel out. I'm kind of curious. Oh, if I could come back. Wait, did I miss it? Wait a minute. Did I get lost here? Nope. Oh, it's not you. Oh, okay. Okay. Any advice how to tap into your past lives? I don't actually recommend people necessarily do that willy-nilly, to be honest. If you want to look at it, if you feel like you're being called to it, if you feel like there's a lot of like karmic stuff going on that you're not really understanding, then like sure, but I don't think it's something that everybody necessarily needs to do. And if you're not used to journeying on your own, I definitely recommend seeking somebody out who will help facilitate that. I've been able to look into my own, but that's also because I'm able to journey in that way as an ability and assist people with that. But like I said, I don't really recommend people just go and do it. Like you might be seeing stuff that you don't really need to. You don't really necessarily need to. And sometimes I feel like people get so attached to like what they see that like they don't really live in their present incarnation. But that's just me personally. Let's see. It's in Western Australia. Timeline feels like a light bulb flickering and waiting for the light to stay on right now. It's funny because who was I talking to? I think it was actually Jai, and I was telling her like, you know, we were talking about the collective. We were talking about all this collective energy and the uncertainty that people feel and the fear that people feel, and I was equating it to tower moment, like a tower that's totally leaning and it's like on its last couple bricks, but it hasn't completely fallen yet. Like that's the kind of energy I think the collective's been in for a while. And personally, I'm so ready for that tower to just crumble. Like, you know it's gonna crumble. It can't go back up. Like, you know it can't. You know it can't be resurrected or re-erected, whatever. Like, just let it fall and let's move on. Can we just do that? Like, can we all just agree that like shit is over and we can just move on now? Like, can we all just agree on that? Oh, thank you for the 99 cents, Angelic Love Messenger. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, that's how I feel. That's just how I feel right now. You see 161 every day? Yeah. When the tower falls, we get a fresh storyline. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I just want to move on. I just want to move forward. Like, I'm also somebody, like, if I'm in a moment of, oh my God, things are super different, or, oh, I gotta, like a call to action, like, okay, time to do shit now, like, I can be really good in moments like that. I can be really good in energy like that. But this weird, like, like, it's just, it's like, oh God, it makes me very antsy. It makes me very irritated and frustrated. Yeah, it's like, let's just agree it's gonna fall. So actually, I guess that's the other point of it too. Like, let's just act like it's already fallen. Let's just pretend it's already fallen so we can just like speed this along now. But that's just how I feel. But they also say careful what you wish for, so I don't know. Can we just intercept all the ways they're trying to build it back up a different way? It's an illusion though. Like, well, I shouldn't say it's a definite illusion, but that's how I feel. That's my observation. Those are my feelings. I feel like all these attempts, everything you see in the media of, we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to stop this. It's like, that's not actually going to do, it's not going to do anything. First of all, it's not going to really stop the process. But I also feel like some of it is just kind of filler, like just to convince you that like governments are trying to stop certain things, and they're not. Like, they're not. They're really not. At least I don't think so. Let's see, codename Lucky. Oh, that's a cool username. Thank you for the 777. Just a little thank you for sharing our good energy. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the support in return. Everything is a construct. We're all trying to agree on an illusion. Yeah, exactly. And that's another beautiful thing too about this Lionsgate and this portal and the whole Rainbow Bridge, right? It's like this is a chance to further cement a collective timeline. You know, it's like it's a chance for individually for all of us to like really break through any confusions and any like, you know, further restrictions that are really rooted in our own wounding, but to really just be like, okay, time to do something, time for action, time for action and time for a new direction on an individual level. But if enough people do that, then collectively we can have some forward progress and really cement in a new timeline. And I do think it's going to happen. I do. However it's going to look, that's That's unpredictable. How it's going to actually look is unpredictable. The only thing you can really count on right now for how it's going to look after Lionsgate is just serious radical change. I think that's the only thing we can bank on. Like, radical change in our physical reality is the only thing we can count on. The details, who knows, right? And I think everyone's going to have a different perspective of what it's looking like in their reality. And I think depending on like how you're handling things, where you are in the world, what your job situation is, your family situation is, you might actually be having a very different reality experience compared to someone, somewhere else in the world. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out. Excuse me. I've been isolating myself lately. Like, I'm seeing the people around me for who they are, and most of what I'm seeing I don't like. Yeah. Removing and making room for my tribe. Good. Yeah, there are a lot of shakeups with the relationships too. Like, when you have opportunities for a lot of people to come in, there's also a lot of opportunities to have a lot of people come out. Like, Venus sextile Uranus, excuse me, is going to be hanging out there for a bit. Definitely, I was seeing people breaking away from people, no question. Definitely some reform in relationships, and definitely new relationships. But it's gonna be good though. Like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be liberating. It's gonna be liberating as fuck. So I welcome it. I hope you're aware of your significance in this world. Oh, you're so amazing and powerful, top tier. Thank you, Cree. I needed to hear that. Thank you. I'm gonna really absorb that. Thank you. I woke up this morning at 555 and my heart was fluttering. Ooh. And then I walked by the thermostat and it said 555. I'm like, okay, spirit, what now? Yeah, I've been seeing 555 too. I've been seeing that a lot. Which also gets me excited. So like, I used to kind of get a little bit of like, like a uh-oh feeling when I'd see that. But lately I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, yes. Bring on the change. I look forward to your videos. Oh, thank you. I'm a Capistellium, so the last full moon was so heavy. It was. I was feeling it too. I was definitely feeling it too. Still feeling it. Yeah. That whole like Capricorn, Cancer, mother, father energy, that's playing a role too in this whole coming into oneness, right? I should really say the opportunity, with the opportunity to move into oneness during this Lionsgate. Even if the aspects aren't there, that energy is still very present. So yeah, I feel you on that one. I second that comment about your significance. Oh, sorry going crazy typing as this was my first live with you. That's okay. That's okay. You've been following me for 2 years. No, honestly, I appreciate the support with that. Like, I receive that. I really receive that. Like, this kind of work I do, I was explaining it to somebody today who's like, just, a new friend, and like telling him my story basically about how I came to do this kind of work and how long I've been doing it. And when you have to explain your life or you talk about it when you're not used to talking about it all the time, it's like it really puts it into a new perspective and context of like, wow, like how much time and energy I've dedicated to my path and this work. Obviously, even just to these platforms, right? It's been a big chunk of my life for the last 4 years, and honestly, in a good way. Like, I don't think it's been a negative impact on me whatsoever. It's been dedication, but it has a purpose behind it, right? It's fulfilling for me on one hand, and it helps me grow as a person and as a seer and as a healer. It helps me to grow as a light worker, but also I get to support other people, and it is needed and it is important. And have there been times where I've been like, oh man, I'm tired? Like, oh God, like I need a break? Or have there been times where I've been really humbled? Like, absolutely. By the way, the being humbled never stops. That never stops. But I recognize that it's like, it's just needed, and I feel such a call to do it. And even if the way I do it is going to always be changing and evolving, because I'm always changing, like, that's fine. But yeah, it's part of why I'm here. It just boils down to that, right? It's part of why I'm here. So I just appreciate the recognition. So thank you. It was very Leo season like to receive some stuff like that. Past 2 years during Lionsgate, I've had bad things happen to my kitties. No, I'm gonna definitely be doing a Lionsgate ritual. Oh, well, I hope they'll be safe. I hope they'll be safe. You have been consistent. I've been as consistent as I can be, right? Like, I know a lot of people have been leaving the channel because, you know, I don't do the sign readings the way I used to, but it's like, that is a version of me that I'm so far removed from at this point. You know, like, and it was great while that was going on. Like, it was fun while it was going on, but like, that needed to evolve, right? That needed to evolve, that needed to change. And obviously I've had new subscribers come in too. But yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Let's see. You brought so much peace and clarity for me when I needed those confirmations. Oh, you guys really loving on me a lot today. I truly believe that my guides chose you to help guide me through my intense emotions. As a double scorp, my dream is to meet you. Oh, you might meet me one day. You might have already met me in your dreams. Like, that's the other thing, guys. Like, there's all this work that you guys see here. I do so much work outside of this too. You know, I do grid work. I do energy work. And every time not every time I sleep, probably most of the time I sleep, I'm working. Like, especially when I get ready for like a big gathering of sorts, like I'm going to Sedona for this retreat, it's like I'm already in Sedona. Like, my energy, my consciousness, it's already out there, it's already doing work. It's like I have not been I've been sleeping a lot the last couple nights, but I haven't been sleeping. You know, I've been astraling and I've been working. A lot of people see me in their dreams, a lot, because I am a dream walker too. So, you know, my dreams are very crowded. My dreams are very crowded. Let's see. Missing Clyde. Oh, and Kitty Burn exposure. He's been around. He definitely was hanging around on the weekly that I recorded earlier today. Hello from Norfolk. Oh, hello. Virginia. Oh, very cool. Been watching since 2018. Oh, you've been with me for 4 years. You've been with me for the whole ride. Just joined the live. Love your nails. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. I have a question that has bogged my mind since my mother's death. Oh, I did her birthday with her numbers when reducing them, but then I did her death date and death time, and she got straight 3s. Oh, that's interesting. So what do 3s mean going all the way? I mean, 3s are catalytic energies. Like, 3 is very powerful because it goes hand in hand with fire, goes hand in hand with sorry, I was also reading comments. Goes hand in hand with the triangle. So it's all about catalyzing, and it also relates to the Trinity, right? So it's powerful. It's just a powerful divine number when it comes to creation. Think like Big Bang energy. Think the energy of Ra and like creative forces. Like, that's what the 3 represents. And it's also about divine connection as well. It also relates to oneness, actually, too. Yeah, I love your shows, but then you stepped out for a while and I missed you really bad. So glad you're back. My cousin saw you in her dream once. That's so funny. Yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. What is the best way to catch up on Lionsgate, Rainbow Bridge, etc.? Oh, just like the information I had? I mean, I talked about it a little bit here. I talk about it a lot in the New Moon Live I did on Patreon, which again will also be on Vimeo. And I also talked about it on the weekly message that we'll post on Monday. So you could wait till Monday till the weekly message comes out, or you can go on Patreon and look at the New Moon Live, or you can look at that on Vimeo. It's not on Vimeo yet. I still have to like download it and re-upload it and stuff like that. And I talked about it a little bit here. Excuse me. Honestly, my best advice for utilizing all of that is just make sure that you are staying aware. Make sure you're staying aware and you are staying very much connected to yourself through the heart space. Take time every day, to meditate and just open yourself up to the energies. If you want to do rituals, by all means do rituals, but it's an intentional moving into oneness and moving into a transcendent space, right? So however that looks like for you and where you're at in your personal journey should be tailored to, with your own discernment, how to do that for yourself depending upon where you're at. It's going to look different for everybody. Aloha, Susan. Hey. Hey, I just ran into my neighbor and we were just talking about your video. you and your neighbor watch me. That's actually really cool. On the Rainbow Bridge in Lionsgate. So thanks, Vincent. So like I said, I don't even remember what I said in the Instagram live because I had like just recently gotten those downloads and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was in such a state of excitement and I just wanted to share it. So I don't even know if I shared it like in an articulate way. Like I really don't know if I did or not. I saw you doing a Buddha painting in a dream once. I do paint. I do paint, and I actually I've been feeling the need to go back to painting. It takes obviously time. It takes time and it takes space. And I've thought like, oh, it'd be cool if I like made space in my life to be able to go back to that and then share my paintings with you guys. Because I've actually gotten quite a few channelings, like where I see paintings, like I'll actually see it, and it's like, oh, I need to remember to paint that someday. Like I literally have that thought of like, I'm supposed to paint that, and then I just can't get around to it for whatever reason. So probably something else that will be going into, you know, the new way I'm going to be living and doing things and what have you. So yeah, I'm not surprised you saw that. I'm not surprised. I've been following you for several years and truly appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I couldn't ask for better support. Like, you know, everybody's like, how do you say, like subscribers. Everybody's subscriber collective is so different and has a different vibe, obviously based off of like the content creator, right? The person that they're watching. And not like hang out in chats on like other people's lives, not necessarily tarot readers, but just like, you know, whoever I'm into, right? And it's fascinating, like, because some of the stuff I see, I don't think I could like really deal with very well if I saw it on my own channel. Just some of that like aggressive, super negative, you know, sort of energy. So I feel very grateful right now and just very blessed and very happy and just want to share that, honestly. Paint live and live chat, that would be cool. I gotta have the right camera set up for that. Like, you guys know me with my technology experience. I've been recording on my phone like the whole time. There were times where I tried to record with a camera. I think I only did it once, like with a legit camera, and I was like, this is too complicated and frustrating. I'm not doing it. It's not efficient enough. I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But yeah, like I saw myself being able to do that. I need the right setup, and I definitely would need someone to help me because I can research all day, and it's like I'm pretty adept at researching. You know, I was in the education world for a long time, but I'm telling you, like, when it comes to technology, I can research all day and weird shit would happen. It's always the case. Even with my phone right now, actually, with this current phone, I haven't been able to receive or send out phone calls since March. And I can't tell you how many times I've talked to AT&T, I've gone into a store and they can't fix it, and they're like telling me to buy a new phone. I'm like, I'm not buying a new phone. The phone's fine. Like, the phone's not broken. I know the phone's not broken, and they still can't fix it. Like, weird shit like that happens to me. Anyway, enough rambling about technology. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I would totally love to do that. If everything is happening in the now, then maybe you were seeing what you already painted in the future. Oh, most definitely. And that's the thing too. Like, I feel like we're moving into a time where, how do I say this? Words are not like, there aren't the right words to describe all of the shit that's really going down, right? Like how you just said, maybe I saw myself painting something that I painted in the future that's already done because we live in the now. Yes, I completely agree. I think that's 100% true. And I think also saying that I could see myself doing that is true. And I think it's the same way as seeing that, like, I'm jumping to a future timeline. It's like, I think all of those are saying the exact same thing, right? So it's like that way of thinking, that way of communicating, that way of seeing, like, the layers of truth of things from a dimensional standpoint, I think is part of where we're going as a collective. And I think some people are already there. But anyway, waxing philosophical. I'll help. I'll help however I can. Let me know. Oh, thank you. I've definitely had a lot of offers for people to help me. It's one of those things. I just got to sit down and dedicate a mental space to figuring that out, to approaching it. And I know it'll happen when it's the right time. when it's the right time. And when I get back into the flow of painting, because like that's the other thing. It's like with anything, I gotta re-exercise those muscles. I haven't painted in a long time. Like I think the last painting I did, I didn't finish. I was trying to do an Odin painting, and I didn't finish it. Um, and that was probably a year ago. And then before that, like 2019, I did a couple paintings, and then before that, maybe a decade. So like that part of me is there. And again, I want to exercise it. It just I need to get back in the flow of it. And I know I will when it's the right time. Um, oh, they're the same as yours, your nails? Yeah, cool. Spirit is protecting your energy from being tapped into via phone. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was like, something funky is going on. Spirit's messing with my phones and whatever. And then I got put in that weird vortex. Like, I can't even explain that weird vortex energy I was in. I even like had a session with somebody who I really trust. I have a lot of trust. Like, there's definitely something higher dimensional going on between me and that person, because like one of his dimensional higher selves will like come in and like we'll talk, and like then I'll just suddenly purge and cry and have a healing moment. But anyway, besides that, I kept trying to connect with him through a backup phone that I had to borrow. That's a family phone because I can't make calls, right? And like for 30 minutes we're trying to connect, and I was in this weird vortex and we couldn't do it for like 30 minutes straight. It was crazy. um what are your plans for the rest of the evening? The rest of the evening, what am I going to do? I'm definitely going to sit in this energy a little bit. I feel like I just need to absorb, integrate what I'm feeling, where things are heading for me. That's for sure in the cards. But I also want to take time to do a little bit of research on some things, because that's just who I am. I love to research. I love knowledge. Um, and I'll probably be practicing with my drums too tonight as well. Um, getting back into those like drumming mode, drumming flow for the retreat. So as a fellow artist, I would love to connect with you on that level too. I will enjoy those painting lives when they come. There'll be a day. There'll for sure be a day. I just want to say I appreciate your work, your videos, and insights. Oh, it's wild. Definitely helps me see perspectives that would otherwise go unnoticed. I'm excited for the collective message, hoping to hear positive. Thank you so much for the messages. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Like I said, it'll be posted here on Monday, but my patrons already have access to it. And it's a long video too. And so this time I did the collective message, and I did a couple spreads for the collective message. And then instead of doing like the rising sign astrology, I just pulled a card for each sign. And that was really nice, actually. That had a really nice flow to it. Oh, you just made a medicine drum? Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Thank you for everything. Your recent messages have been so on the nose of everything going on. Yeah, like I said, like once I decided like to like, stop my daily grind so I could focus, it was just like so much stuff came in. And to be honest, it feels really good. Like I've tried to get better at balancing like doing content and videos and personal readings and then my own life and having this space. And, I haven't quite found the perfect balance yet. And that's because things are still in flux. And I think after Lionsgate and after the retreat and everything, I think all of that's going to just like fall into place in a new way. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I feel really good. I feel like I'm a lot more balanced again, even though I'm not sleeping as much because I'm working. I feel more solid. So I just feel good. Happy to finally catch you live. Hello. I need to figure out established constant balance. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so a lot of my life is food and cleaning. I get it. I mean, I don't have a kid, but I get it. Like even Clyde, like, he's getting older and he's got some more demands. And it's like, it's a little hard. And with me being away, I'm like, oh, I hope my parents clean his ears, and I hope my parents do this, and I hope they do that. I need to talk to them anyway about that. So yeah, I can only imagine like having like, human children, right? To look after. My brain can't wrap my head around what that's like to have kids yet. Like And I don't even know if it's in the cards for me. A couple years ago, I definitely was on a timeline where that was very likely to happen because I was like seeing them. I was literally seeing them and talking to them. Um, and then I got off that timeline and things changed. So yeah, who knows if I'll ever be a mom? I don't know. You were there for me through my darkest night of the soul, 2019 to present. Glad I could be. Props to people with kids. Getting my tubes tied Tuesday. It's a no for me. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean that's a job. Like that's a job to have kids. So I'm not gonna lie. Like everybody's got their little vice, like their junk food content, whatever it is. So there are two things I watch on YouTube that are like not spiritual related at all, and it's just again, it's just kind of like fun junk stuff to watch. Actually, one of them I would say is not even very junk related. It's actually really fun. It's called Cinema Therapy. I'm sure some of you guys have watched Cinema Therapy. They've blown up over the last year like crazy. I definitely recommend watching them. And it's also kid friendly, so you can like watch it with your kids too if you want. So it's basically a filmmaker and a therapist, and they're like bros. They've been bros for like most of their life, like half their life. And they watch movies and they give you like their take on it from a psychological perspective, from a family therapist perspective, and then from a filmmaker's perspective. And I gotta say, the Pixar ones that they do, oh my god, like I could watch those ones over and over and over. Like yes, they're kids movies, but you're looking at two bros like getting all emotional and really getting into the nitty gritty. Like it's good. It's really good. You guys should check it out. You should totally check it out. But the other thing I watched that I will say is definitely like junk content. Super Nanny clips. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know if it's just because it's a world that is so foreign to me, like having children and raising children. Kid movies would be great for adults too. Oh, they are. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. That sounds so cute. I love animation. Yeah, guys, like it's, you know what? I almost want to have like a watch party, like a cinema therapy watch party, to be honest with you, because it's like, it's that good. I watched one today. Which one did I watch? Oh, they did one for Onward, and I never saw Onward, so I didn't even know what it was about. So I will say, if you watch cinema therapy, they do have spoilers. Okay, so make sure if you like don't want to know what's gonna happen, like watch the movie first. Guess what I'm taking up, Rodin? I'm in agricultural farming fundamental class. Oh, awesome! It's because you told me to take that leap. Thanks. Oh, that's so cool. That makes me happy. And we so need that. Like, we so need that. So, Maxine, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. We should one day. Most of them need to be PG-18. Love Onward. Yeah, it's clearly a very emotional movie. Like I said, I hadn't watched it, but I watched their episode. And oh my god, especially because they get into like the psychology and emotional impact of it, right? So like you're already getting the emotional message from like the movie clips, and then they like really take it home. And they get kind of personal too with sharing stuff about themselves. But yeah, definitely check out Cinema Therapy. It's also very bingeable. Also a heads up, it's very bingeable. So they do Pixar movies, and they love like Marvel movies. They do a lot of Marvel movies. They've done some like drama ones too. Did you watch Encanto? Oh my god. Yes, I did. I love that movie. I've seen it many a times. And they did one on Encanto. They actually had like I think 2 or 3 episodes for just to cover Encanto. Yeah, when I was watching Encanto, I was seeing the whole spiritual aspect of it, and it was just like, oh yeah, duh, she's a lineage breaker. Like that's exactly what it is. Like she's a lineage breaker. There's so many things to say about that movie, right? You can look at that movie from so many different angles and point out so many different things, but clearly the writers, and obviously like Lin-Manuel, like, are you serious? Like he's absolutely amazing when it comes to composing music. I'm so happy they picked him for that movie because totally perfect for all the music for that. But yeah, you could talk forever about Encanto. A lineage breaker. Yeah, that's exactly what she was. I was like, how could I was so enthralled by how they conveyed it. You know, I avoided Encanto, but now I'm curious. No, don't avoid it. You're gonna want to watch it. You're gonna want to watch it, and you're gonna want to watch it. They should feature you in an episode. Yeah, I don't know. Like, here's the filmmaker standpoint, here's the therapy standpoint, here's the spiritual context and impact of this movie. What defines a lineage breaker? So interesting. A lineage breaker breaks generational curses. And that's exactly what the whole. Oh, sorry. Okay, I don't want to give away spoilers for people who haven't seen it. But that's exactly what the whole thing's about. She's literally breaking the generational curse. Like, and it's because she doesn't have a gift. Like, that was so, like, I caught on to that so fast. Like, when I was seeing everybody has a gift and she doesn't, I'm like, oh, it'd be the same thing in like a typical lineage breaker situation, right? Like, people who are lineage breakers, present day in a spiritual context, they typically come into this world with abilities or sensitivities or what have you, and then they have to go against, not necessarily go against the grain of the family, but they shed light, right? They shed the light on what the truth is, what the real dysfunction is, to bring the family into wholeness and to bring the family into oneness, right, in a healed way. And so, of course, you have a family all who has abilities. A lineage breaker would have to not have abilities. And I think I'm lagging now all of a sudden as I'm talking about this. Kind of the rebel black sheep. Yeah. But again, in a spiritual way, because it's not meant to break away from the family. It's meant to heal the family. It's meant to, not lagging. Okay, maybe it's just on my end of things. It's not meant to like totally just break away from the family. It's meant to really mend and heal all those ancestral wounds and traumas, to lift the family back up. This is so interesting. What do you think about spiritual abilities skipping a generation? Skipping a generation? I just think that's just, what's the word? Situational. I think that's just situational. Good on my end. I feel like I am family's lineage breaker. LOL. I know I definitely am. But it's a process. Like I gotta say, it ain't gonna happen in an hour and a half. Like, it's a process. The grandma made me so mad the whole movie. So much I want to say in response to that. I understand why the grandmother's triggering. I understand why many of these characters are triggering, right, for different reasons. But that's the whole point, right? That was the whole point of the whole lineage breaker situation, because of the ancestral trauma that the grandmother has passed on, right? The grandmother is just acting out of her own wounding. Like, that's all it is. And then you see how it has affected the entire, like, next couple of generations, right? And it's not that she was being a bad person. She's acting out of her own trauma and her own desperation to have things be okay, to not relive trauma, right? So it's like, I totally understand why people were triggered by her, but that's kind of the point too, right? To be triggered by her and then be able to come back, circle back around and be like, here's how we shed light on the truth of your trauma, and here's how we bring things back into balance and bring things back to love and bring things back to light and healing and balance and all of that, right? Literally cried at the pressure song. Oh yeah, when that song came up, I was like, so much of the collective's gonna relate to that, especially women. I mean, also, that's another angle to look at Encanto, right? Just like the impact of how generational curses and expectations in society has on femininity, right? And how we have to internalize so much shit. Like, if you notice with Encanto, it's focused almost solely on the feminine. Like, there's some light on masculine stuff, but like, not really. I mean, outside of Bruno, but with him, it wasn't about masculinity, right? For him, it was really more about also being very different, right? And also being very much like a black sheep, and also someone who also sheds light. Like, arguably speaking, Bruno could have been another lineage breaker that didn't follow through, arguably speaking, right? Facts reminds me of my grandma had to learn to understand why people are the way they are. Yeah, exactly. Are you talking about Flowers in the Attic? Wait, Flowers in the Attic? I did it, and yes, I was hypnotized, though. I studied the Hermetic Kabbalah, found it very enlightening. Oh, interesting. I haven't read that one personally. Let's see. You have a Mima too? Where are you from, girl? In her own way, she was trying to keep her idea of together. Right, exactly. I didn't want to see it, but my 7 kids forced me. Mom, it's you, they said. Oh, so I reluctantly watched. Wow. Oh, that'd be hard. That would be hard. Um, I honestly think everybody should watch it. I think everybody should. There's definitely been like a couple family members and people I know that have been dragging their feet too. Um, we're talking about the Pixar movie Encanto. Oh, yes, yes, yes. What's the show you binge on called again? Oh, Cinema Therapy. Hold on, I think I can comment in here. I cannot comment in here. Um, so Cinema Therapy. It's all kicking my own butt. Um, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I'm trying to think of what my favorite one was that I've ever seen. Oh my god! And I have to say, so if there are any Twilight fans in here, I apologize, but they do the whole Twilight like series and they bash it. Like they so bash it, but it's hysterical and it's very like it's just a good soul chuckle. Like if you're looking for a good soul laugh, like it's really good to watch those ones. It gets a little monotonous if you're watching them all together, all their episodes, because they literally have an episode for each movie, and I think one of them they split up into 2 episodes. Um, I couldn't watch them without laughing. Yeah, and they like, oh my god, and they're hysterical when they get into it. I cry like a baby, right, with the director. Yeah. Cinema Therapy, I hope they give you kudos for the influx of followers. Hey, by all means, tell them who sent you, sent words. Tell them who sent you to them. By all means. I doubt they're good. I doubt they'd even notice. They literally have almost 1 million subscribers. Like, and honestly, I'm so happy for them. Like, I'm so happy for them. I'm so proud of them. Like, you could tell these were just like 2 really solid friends who were like, let's do something fun. Like, let's do something we love to do together and just share it with people. And they did. And I think it's really, I don't know their stories, but just intuitively, I could feel how much it has contributed to their own fulfillment. You know, it's like, and that's part of like what everyone, I think, in my opinion, should just be doing. Like, do something you love and just share it with people, no matter how you share it with people, but like just share it with people, you know, and see what happens. um let's see. Oh, the movie Soul, I saw it once, but I don't remember it. I don't remember it very much. The movie Soul has made me cry too. Oh. Which other ones have made me cry? Encanto definitely made me cry. Um, to be honest, I don't think I've seen a lot of Pixar movies because like they have so many, and there are a lot of them where I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't think I've heard of that one. So I don't think I've seen a lot of them. But Encanto definitely made me cry, for sure. But I also cry at their episodes of the Pixar movies, and to be honest, I think their episodes probably would make me cry more than the movie itself. I think just because of how much they put into it, you know? So it had a lot of silly stuff in it too. One of my faves, Disney Movie Club. Encanto definitely made me cry. It's like, if you don't cry at Encanto, not to say you should, but like, I don't know how you could not like cry at Encanto, especially, okay, again, I don't want to ruin anything, but especially like towards the end when we really get to know the grandmother story. And this is the other thing too, like, I think for me, from an ancestral point of view, it really hit me from like on a personal ancestral level. Um, like that kind of sacrifice that certain generations had to make. And it was just like, oh. It was just like, oh my god. Or just the amount of suffering certain generations had to go through, and really not by choice, right? Involuntary suffering, like to that capacity, just like really hit me. Coco reminded me of my great grandma. Looks exactly like her. Coco's another one that like I don't remember. I saw it once and I don't remember it. That one I had a lot of resistance to be honest, with Coco. Um, yeah, I had a lot of resistance to that one. And initially I had resistance to Encanto until I was forced to watch it, and then I was very happy I watched it. But when Coco came out, it wasn't too many years after the Book of Life came out. And then when Coco came out and I saw they had the whole like Day of the Dead like sort of theme to it, I got a little angry. I was like, are they incapable of making a Latino movie or Latino movie without having to be about like Day of the Dead? Like I remember thinking that and being so irritated. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch Coco. But I did eventually watch it. Um, The sacrifice and release of the survival mode. Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Repetitive. Right. Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. Get your act together, Disney. Just had a strong ring in my ear as you said that about generational sacrifices. Spirit talking to me. Yeah, I mean it's real, dude. Like that's like that's a serious thing, and I know some people feel that more than others, and I think especially people who like speaking to the obvious, right? People of color. It's like that's a very prominent on the surface wound, um, and awareness, you know. So it's like it's just it hits you, it hits you. You know what? Thank you. Just being a part of this discourse has really helped me lighten my mood. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, let's bring up the vibes as I've been kind of trapped in the projections of others. Oh, yeah. Like, oh, yeah. A little alone time is always good. Like, a little alone time is good. Connecting to like minded individuals, too, always a good thing to make sure you're incorporating in your day to day. My God, it is Mexico. My entire family loved it. It's my Mama Rosita. Aw. My own lineage did so much to get us where we are today. I have no anger for them at all. They did the best with what they could. Yeah, that's something that's hard to come to terms with, I think, for a lot of people. I mean, myself included, it took me quite a while to get there. I tell my husband that I feel that's a big part of our purpose in our lives is redefining what family looks like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there's never any alone. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Um, it's funny too because they'll bring in guests into the episodes, and it's funny because I can tell they do that when it's like either they know it's just gonna amplify the whole like delivery of understanding of the episode. Oh, Monique, thank you for the 4444. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, but it's kind of funny too. Like I watched, which one did they post recently? Harley Quinn. They posted one on Harley Quinn. Oh my God, which was a great episode. They did a great job with that. They brought in someone who's on their crew, and she's done other episodes too. I think at least one other episode. But to bring in the female perspective, right, behind Harley Quinn and how she's filmed, how women are filmed, and the whole like feministic aspect of it, because a couple of the Harley Quinn films were filmed and directed and produced by men, right, and Birds of Prey was by women, and they were showing the differences, and I was like, it was really obvious, right? But anyway, so just interesting. I would not want to spend my Saturday day in any other way than right now with this community. Hey, it's connection. It's connection. I know I'm having a good time with you guys. Birds of Prey was awesome, wasn't it? See, that's the thing. I don't think I'm actually a big movie person. For a long time, it took me a while to get into. Well, no, I take that back. I've always loved horror movies. I've always loved horror movies, but like I had a big chunk of time in my life where I like felt like I was dedicating too much to watch a movie, like to sit there for like an hour or two. But I guess I've kind of broken free of that recently. But yeah, Birds of Prey, that was good. Like the actual story, the plot was kind of like meh. It was a little predictable. But the characters were amazing. The action scenes were amazing. And Margot Robbie is amazing. Ewan McGregor, amazing. Yeah, everybody was amazing in it. Let's see. Any series you're into right now? I'm not really watching a series right now. Sometimes my guides will have me watch something I would never watch otherwise, and I realize it's to reflect on some things or it's to actually transmute some stuff. So I have been watching a couple things in recent past, but like nothing worth noting, I would say. Umbrella Academy's great, except for this third season is weird and glitchy, and I'm not really feeling it. I watched Russian Doll. I didn't finish the second season. Second season's been a little hard for me to get through. The character insight, the action scenes, the movie itself, generic. It's like the message and wisdom and stuff, like life talking to you. Yeah. Can you differentiate between your guides and identity of them? Or is the connection more vague than that? How do I explain this? My guides, and and this is just my experience of my spirit team. I gotta turn the light on soon. It's getting dark in here. I hear them as a collective. I know there's many of them, but they speak to me as one. For the most part. For the most part. Yeah, for the most part. That's how I experience communication with them. Aloha sis just got off work. Aloha. It gave me chills. Just came out. Wait. Just came out July 14th. Oh my God, changed my life today. Oh my God. Congratulations. Did you like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show? It was so spot on with my messages. How do I feel about Avatar: The Last Airbender? I was pressured to watch it. So it kind of left, I'm trying to find the right word here. It left an energy around my experience with it that I don't really like. But is the story yet great? Is the story powerful? Yes, absolutely. It's an ascension story. It's an ascension story moving into independence, right? And maturing and growing and all of that. So yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it's very well written. I think it was done really, really well. Oh God. Sorry. There's a bug on me. Does their voice sound different than yours, or is it distinct? It's different than mine. It's different than mine. Aloha, Twilight was that way for me. Oh, for real? Not nearly as good a story as Avatar. No, if I was forced to watch Twilight, which I guess no, I wasn't forced to watch Twilight. I remember I was in college and I forget which one it was because I was never interested in it. And one of them came out. Like I said, I don't remember which one. And a bunch of my friends and I were gonna go to the movies, and then they all wanted to see that, and I didn't know we were gonna go see that, and it was like, all right, I'll see it. Yeah, and I only ever watched the whole series just out of pure fascination. To kind of understand why everybody was like so into it. The last movie was pretty decent, I have to say. But yeah, definitely not my jam. Anything from that studio I'd love to watch. I've been experiencing ringing ears lately, and I'm learning to pay attention more. Then is there anything I should do to enhance or improve this? I mean, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're consciously telling yourself you want to pay attention more. So as long as you're taking time to be very centered and grounded, and you are having that sense of connection and awareness with yourself, you're going to hear it more. Having your regular spiritual practice will help too, but you're already doing it. At what age did you accept and begin listening to your spirit guides' voices? Early on. Hold on, I gotta turn the light on because I'm gonna start disappearing before your eyes very soon if it gets any darker. Give me a second. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, very early on. I've had abilities my whole life. Yeah, I've had abilities my whole life. And I was talking to somebody about this earlier today. And it's not easy when you come to this world and you can see things and hear things and just know things and all of that. So very early on, I got comfortable with it. Where the Crawdad sings? I did hear that's a movie that's out. I don't know anything about it. I personally don't know anything about it. Reading the book. My ex punked me into watching Twilight. I'm not gonna lie, I cut the entire movie down and never had to watch another. That's funny. So it seems like a lot of people have been forced to watch Twilight. Right? Are we not born with them? I got this telepathy empathy thing going on. I think there are a lot of people who are also coming to this world not super aware. I do, especially when we're talking about the past. I think kids born nowadays, it's a much different story and circumstance. But yeah, I was born in 1990. yeah, there were people, obviously there's always been people born who are like sensitive or open or what have you. But yeah, I was talking to somebody earlier and it's like my earliest memories were spiritual experiences or paranormal experiences. And it's just what it was, right? It's just been my experience. Um, it was a beautiful movie, but left out a lot in the book. It's not always the case, right? Like if they make a book into a movie, I feel like there's always some good stuff that gets chopped out. Um, excuse me. Um, oh, you're welcome for the cancer birthday reading. I got scared in high school and shut it off until my last year of college. Yeah, I shut out a lot of my abilities, and it's like I don't regret it because it just was what happened. I can't like take it back or anything. But I wonder what it would have been like if I didn't do that. Um, I was also born in 1999 and always saw spirits, demons, and energy. 99. Wow. I remember 1999. I'm getting to that age where it's like I'm obviously still young, right? I'm obviously still young, but it's just like where I'm meeting people and they're young or not that young, but they're still born so much longer after me. And it's like, whoa. It's like it's a little bit of a strange experience. Yeah, makes me feel some kind of way. I mean, even knowing like in a few years I'm gonna be like in my mid 30s, right? And before I know it, I'll be 40. It's like it's just it's happening so fast. I mean, age is just a number, really. But yeah, I'm at that age where I meet people who are like who don't remember 9/11 or weren't or were born after the fact. You know, it's a very strange experience. I try to be that guy a lot of us didn't have growing up for the nieces and nephews, growing their gifts and guiding them if they want shoes. Oh, I love that. I try to make myself available for that, for like the babies that are being born now, but there's not that many babies being born right now in my family, and also I don't think I'm close enough for that. Um, it's interesting because I can feel the desire to like include that more. Um, but yeah, I think that's very needed. 9/11 and Barack, yeah. Like, I remember Clinton being president. Had a baby raccoon walk up to me outside my work office and freaked me out. Felt bad as it walked away. Oh. Oh yeah, us 1990 babies are seasoned. I know, it's weird. It's weird. Age is wisdom. Embrace it. I do. I totally embrace it. I've also embraced the fact that I'm now entering the period of my life where I gotta be really on top of like taking care of my body in a way that I haven't been previously. Like that's definitely a thing. Like I gotta start thinking about, oh yeah, like there's gonna be a point in time where like my vessel can break down unexpectedly. I gotta be careful. Did you hear that people are now saying that, wait, we're from the 19th century? The 19th century? No, I have not heard that. I have not heard that. Um, I've had squirrels coming up to me for a few months. Sounds like I'm the old lady pushing 50. You're not old. You're not old. Nobody's old here. Nobody's old here. Especially all this weird timeline shit. Like, age is really a fluid concept. You know? 30 was like crossing an invisible line of what the fuck is my body doing now? Right? Right? It's like, oh, teeth can break? like, oh, teeth can break. Hair can fall out. What? Things can, get pulled. What? I want to teach trauma, informed, yoga or meditation, but it gives me so much anxiety. Baby steps. Just baby steps. Just baby steps. And even just giving it a try and just knowing like whatever comes of it, there's a lot of trust that has to go into the self when you're doing things like that. Like with this retreat coming up, I'll have like little bursts of anxiety and I just keep telling myself like it's gonna go fine, like everything's going to happen the way it needs to, and it's like, and I know that, you know. I know that. Um, Luck would have it, we have great dentists these days. I had a few broken teeth. I need a good dentist. I need a good dentist. All this moving around, I haven't been able to like stay on top of like seeing a dentist regularly. Been really needing a cleaning for a while as I'm checking my teeth. Herodin sending an energetic hug. I receive the hug. I love listening to you. Really? I mean, I'm just being silly and just having fun with you guys. Let's see. I pulled a muscle mashing potatoes the other day. Oh my god. Okay, that's hysterical. I'm sorry. That one's hysterical. That one's very hysterical. Um, yeah, I can just feel it in my body. And not to say that my body's not in good condition. Like, I feel like compared to a lot of people I meet who are my age, I think I'm in pretty good standing. I can feel the difference between, 19 and 31. Like, I can feel that difference. Um, and I've been, like I said, I've been doing things to be on top of it. Seeing a trainer now. I mean, my diet has been in check for a while now, too. The whole sleeping thing is kind of a problem, but... And I used to work out a lot anyway. Like, when I was younger, I was a gym rat. Like, granted, I was also doing very unhealthy things outside of that, too. Some of you might know, some of you might not know. Like, I've definitely got a history of addiction. And I made working out an addiction. Like, I really did. So, whether that worked against me or not. But, yeah. So, I have a history of, like, taking care of my body anyway. But the last few years, I've had a hard time staying on top of it. Yeah, body aging is a really weird adjustment. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I kind of look back at, like, the things I used to put my body through, and I'm like, well, I had a good time. I had a very good time, and now I'm going to have a very good time, like, pampering my body and doing what I need to do, Floss and oil pull, your teeth will be fine. Otherwise, hidden infections will show throughout your system. Very hard to identify the cause when it's from bad dental work. Yeah, no, very true. Very, very true. Soon as you stop partying, the gym becomes the party. And honestly, working out is fun. Like, when I was in my throes of addiction and working out all the time, it was a high. Like, it definitely is a high. Like, anyone who says otherwise, they're probably just not reaching that, like, that hit of adrenaline or endorphins or whatever it is that gets you to that state. And even, I think I said this earlier, like, even today I got into a meditative state. Like, I could have just kept going, I found a brand for oil pulling made with coconut. I thought I said something. And it's minty. Ooh, what brand is it? I might start doing that. Yeah, I've been pampering a lot the last year. And it is nice to pamper. I used to look at it as a chore. but it is nice to do that. It's like when bedtime's coming and it's like, oh, 8 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock. And I get in the bathroom and I take a shower and it's like I do all my skin stuff and all my hair stuff and all my teeth stuff and I do my stretches and all of that. I have a whole routine with it. It takes a while, but it does put you in this place of feeling really good, I'll find it and put it in the comments. Okay, awesome, thank you. Oh, please, I'll be 71 next month on August 17th. There are probably a few here that even know who she is, but they do know who Jessica Rabbit is. Was based on Mae West. Hey, 71, awesome. 71's a great age, why not? So it's like, I can't imagine the wisdom you have at 71 and like all the different things you've experienced. Like, even for myself, like I know life is essentially in a lot of ways just getting started. At 31, but I look back and it's like I do feel like I lived a lifetime. Like, I do. Like, I feel like I've had a lot of crazy experiences, and there's a lot of years left for sure. But I just can definitely feel the body shift, right? I need a real good bath. Hate my bathtub. I do too. I miss being able to take a really nice spiritual bath. Like, I miss that terribly. Um, I'm at the gym right now. Hey, get those gains. I glare at it when I want to bath. I gotta jump in the ocean to have a good, relaxing experience with water out here, which isn't a bad thing. I feel blessed to be able to do that. We have a lot of lifetimes in this one. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. My grandpa was in love with Mae West. My mom is named after her. Oh, anticipating the Grand Cross. Energy discussions. I'm in Oregon and the ocean is always ice cold. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the Northwest, you can't really like just go for a quick dip in the ocean. I mean, even if you're in SoCal, like if you're in LA, like I mean, you can. You technically can physically get in the ocean in Los Angeles. I don't recommend it. I don't really recommend it to just be doing that any like willy nilly. But yeah. Have you learned Pigeon yet, being in Hawaii? You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's just like I'm good at reading people's energy or if I'm actually learning it, but when people are speaking it to me, I know what they're saying without knowing the words. So maybe it's just an intuitive thing. Um, but yeah, I don't speak Pigeon. I definitely don't speak Pigeon. Um, every local has like certain words they use, even if they're not speaking Pigeon, you know? I'm trying to think of one. It's like such a natural thing, like pow, right? Like pow is one that I use from time to time. Um, oh, I guess I do somewhat speak in Pigeon a little bit, but not like words. It's more like grammar. So like in Pigeon, how do I explain this? Um, like we don't really use prepositions. Like if we're gonna go to the beach, let's go beach, right? Like something like that. Oh yeah, talk story. Thank you. Talk story is a big one. Talk story is a big one. Um, I miss the ocean. Yeah, ocean's amazing. Ocean is amazing. Were you born and raised in Hawaii? No, no. Born and raised in LA. I love Hawaii, and I've been coming here since I was a kid, and I have a lot of love and appreciation for Hawaii and like the real culture of Hawaii, not the weird distorted stuff that's been projected onto Hawaii and really placed over Hawaiian culture. Um, yeah, so I've been living here for over a year, just over a year. Let's see. This sounds like an eternity of a chore for a moment of peace. I've always heard it's a sign from loved ones who have passed. Wait. Did I miss something? I think I missed something. I missed something there. Thought you were in Sedona. Nope. My energy's there though. My soul is there right now. Um, a dimensional version of myself is there right now. Has been there for the last couple days, prepping for sure. I mean, I lived in Sedona before this, um, and who knows? There might be a move in my future. I wouldn't be surprised if there is. It would be hard to leave Hawaii, but I could definitely do seasonal living. I could be very happy doing that, just like kind of going back and forth. Um, excuse me. I was supposed to go to Hawaii in November, but it fell through. Oh, come back! Come back! Come back! I'm compromising with a lake. Hey, water's water. Uh, she thought you meant real pigeons. No. But I definitely wait. I use Ono a lot and broke the mouth and poo-poos. I use poo-poos and Ono. I don't use broke the mouth a lot. Um, that one I feel like is not natural to me. At least not yet. Uh, I was asked what finding dimes means. That one I don't know. That one I'm not familiar with. Oh, I love the kind. Like that one I love hearing. I love hearing people use that. It just makes me smile. For those who don't know what it is, it's kind of like an insert if you can't like remember the word. It's kind of like a It's kind of like a if you hear someone like saying that. Um Curious to know if you've done stuff with nakshatras. Um I've studied them. I don't know them in like a real adept way, but I've studied them. I thought you were talking about blue avians. Nope. That's funny. That's funny. Decline, bruh. Decline. Um, Yeah, I love the language. I love the language. I love the people. I love the connection. I love the energy. It's like, it just, anybody who lives here and they're not at peace, I gotta ask them why and how. Like, how could you not be at peace here? I mean, there are some people that, yeah, they've definitely got some hard stuff going on. Like, it's not the easiest, like, getting by here. But even people who are having a hard time with that, they still have peace, like, embodied within them. You know, they still have that love embodied within them, that aloha embodied within them. And when I go to the mainland, like, I can't tell you how much I miss that. Like, oh, like, especially when I did live in LA and I would come here for a trip and I'd have to go back, I'd cringe. Like, getting on the plane with all those, not bashing LA people, I was born and raised there, but to get on a plane with all that LA energy after being in the land of Aloha, it's like, oh, oh, it just is awful and cringy and it's suffocating. I wish that everybody could be able to embody that energy, and I think people will over time, but it's definitely a lifestyle. It's like, it's an energy, it's a lifestyle. It's everything that is Hawaii. I look for Maui, Maui Wowie all the time. That's the kind. I don't smoke anymore. I haven't been able to do that in a long time, especially since I ascended. Getting me so excited for when I come back home to Oahu next month. Yay! It'll welcome you back. Every time like I come across somebody who's from Hawaii and like they're not here for whatever reason, or if I'm like traveling, it's like, oh, home misses you. Home will be very happy once you're back. Um, I legit thought it was weed. Love and respect from Australia. Have you ever worked with spirits of the land? Yes, I actually do that a lot. I do that a lot. I don't talk about it a lot because I feel like I'm not really supposed to be honest. Um, so I mostly keep a lot of that to myself. I've spoken on it a smidgen here and there, but I don't really get into details. Um, but yeah, I do. I do. I was just reading a study about how people are statistically more happier in Hawaii despite economic hardship, and I agree. It was expensive living there, but I was soul fulfilled. Yeah, it's the mana. It's the mana here. And being here really teaches you that there's a lot of shit that we think is important that is not important. As long as you're eating and as long as you are, you know, the basics are taken care of and you have a lot of love in your life and you've got people in your life who love you and like will support you, there's no worries. Like there's nothing to be upset about. I get that piece out in the country. When you say ever since you ascended, can you elaborate? So how do I say? In 2019, I went through a huge, I really want to say it was a catalyzation into an ascension process. Now, it's a process that's never truly complete, right? I've gone through different upgrades and leveling up, leveling ups, the kind, since then. But that was that. I don't even have words to really describe that whole experience, but yeah, I went through the whole Kundalini activation, awakening process throughout my entire chakra system, all the visions, and all the things. I went through all of it, and that happened back in 2019. And when that happened, my body really changed, and so there were a lot of things I couldn't do anymore. It's like, and I definitely couldn't smoke weed anymore. It affected me differently in a way that I did not like. My body was like, nope. But it was like, you're not doing that. So that's what I mean. Simply living, I was outside all the time and spent was less than here in OC. Yeah. It's like every time the sun is out, I don't want to be inside. Like when the sun is outside, I want to be outside. It's really hard for me to be inside here in Hawaii, which also makes it hard to work. Just being real, makes it very hard to work. But also I'm out and about a lot to do work too, to do energy work. So spirit software update, LOL. Yeah, what did your Kundalini awakening look like? I've been called to stop smoking too. It's like, what did it look like? It was a physical experience. Like, there was so much that happened, but it was a very physical experience. I was feeling my body changing on a cellular level. And with that came all kinds of, side effects or symptoms as all the energy was working through my different chakra points. And it was very physical. Like, it's very physical. Like, the vibration, the shaking that you feel. Like, there were times where it was my whole body, and I'd be taken out for days because I was going through another wave of something going on within one of my chakra centers. Like I said, visions all the time. Dealing with more spirits all the time. And then when I would go to sleep, I would have even more vivid experiences of the work that I was already doing. I was already used to astraling because that's something I've done my whole life, right? Going to different places on the planet or even other planets and dimensions. Like, that's something I've been doing since I was a small child. But then it was a whole new experience while I was going through that. And I was, dealing a lot with avians, which they're my star family, right? But it was just, yeah, it was powerful. It was incredible, but it was definitely a very, very physical experience. And okay, so before I answer more questions, I really want to say this. Wherever you're at in your journey, I think, yes, it's definitely helpful to, like, research things, but really, I really want to suggest, like, don't get attached to what other people's experiences are of these things that you're going through. Like, it's great to have people you can talk to about it. It's great to have context, but you really got to come from your own experience, and you really got to come from your own truth, because it is a different experience for everybody. Okay? And you'll come across, and everybody, myself included, you'll come across people who will tell you, no, this is the way, right? No, this is the truth of what's actually happening. No, you're wrong. Your experience is your experience, and your experience might be different for a reason. Like, I've had some, and continue to have, very different truths compared to a lot of people that I've met in the spiritual community, but that's because it's my truth, and it's supposed to be my truth because of a certain path that I'm supposed to walk. And I respect that other people have their own other opinions, even if I don't resonate with them or don't understand them, because I know it's for a reason. And I don't need to meddle with that. And I don't need to mess with that. And I don't need to convince somebody otherwise. It's not my job to convince otherwise. It's just my job to be me, and it's just my job to share. So if you're going through an experience and you don't totally understand it, or you're feeling confused, or you're feeling lost, or you're getting a lot of, like, synchronicities or a symbol or something like that, like, by all means, do your research, but sit with yourself first. Sit with yourself and try to understand what truth that you're gaining from it, and also what truth your guides are giving you too. Like, I come across a lot of people where they don't talk to their guides at all. They don't try to talk to their guides at all. They don't try to talk to their higher, like, their different dimensional version of themselves at all. It's like they're relying completely on external information, but that's not the point, right? That's not the point of the whole coming home to yourself and remembering who you are. Like, you're remembering who you are, not who everyone else is. You're remembering who you are, right? Sorry, a little soapboxy, but just felt the need to really say that. Excited I made it to live stream. Hi, Catherine. How do you know if you have guides? You'll know. It's not going to be a doubt thing. You'll know. You'll hear them. You'll see them. You'll feel them. Like, how do you know someone's in the room with you? Because you know, right? There's, like, no doubt that you would know if someone's in the room with you. Yeah. I think people also get stuck in their head about, like, needing proof. I know that's, like, that's, like, typically a very masculine thing, but I think everybody is guilty of it too. And I'm not bashing guys. I love my men's. I love my men's. Everybody's guilty of that, because there's so many people who struggle with just believing in themselves and just having faith in what they already know outside of, because we're so used to being programmed, right? We're so used to being programmed of what a standard is, or what a truth is, or an expectation is. But it's like the whole, like, coming home to yourself and being aware of yourself, it's literally about the opposite of that. Like, literally. Yeah. So anyway, don't get so stuck on having proof, because truth is truth, and you will know your truth because it's your truth. And you'll know it. Anytime you fight that or resist it, or you look for someone to confirm it, you're not coming from yourself. You're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to your truth. I love my men too, but sometimes the masculine energy is so ... So I don't know if some of you guys remember, a couple years ago, I was guided to really focus on masculine energy. And that's been something that's been coming up again recently too. Men are just as important as women. They are. They're just as important to the equation. We need everybody, right? We need everybody, and everybody is powerful, and everybody has something to contribute, and men are important. And as far as like coming into the fold of spiritual work, men need that support too, you know? And so I know that this is very embedded still in our culture. And again, you look at my old videos, and I was also guilty of it too. I would like to believe I've grown since then. But men are important. Masculine energy is important, and they're on their own journeys too, as far as coming home to themselves. And I look forward to having more men come into the fold, so to speak. I look forward to working with more men in a spiritual capacity, and I know that's in my near future. I know that for sure. I look forward to meeting men who can help other men too. Like, I really look forward to that. We're a collective, right? It's not just females carry everything, right? I think that's a distortion. Like, it's a collective. It's just immensely unbalanced and distorted at the moment. Another societal wedge put between men and women in the U.S. recently, strengthening a few connections but damaging more. Yeah. Aloha. All the best for your retreat. Thank you. Thank you for always being here to remind us to listen to our truth. Yeah, I mean, and like, even everything that I say to you guys, and I say this from time to time, it's like, I'm giving you my experience, but if you don't resonate with something I'm saying, that's fine. Like, that's totally cool. Like, I support that. I totally support that, because it also tells me that you're moving into more of your own truth too. And not to say that everybody should not like resonate with me, right? It's like, some people are meant to, some people aren't supposed to, and that just is what it is. Let's see. As a man, I use more of my feminine energy, but as a man, you have to be a man. Well, and I think that's also something that on an individual level is something that needs to be faced too, right? I was watching again my guilty pleasure junk TV Super Nanny episode, and this dad, oh my god, he was like forcing his like 8-year-old and 6-year-old, something like that. I think it was 8 and 6, maybe it was like 8 and 10, boys to be men. And literally that's what it was. Like, he was making them learn to fight. He was making them lift weights. 8 and 10. Like, 8 and 10 years old, they can't just be fucking children. Anyway, sorry. Excuse my French. Yeah, and it was just so like, like, I just hated that. Like, he just like, that was just that repeated, distorted, this is what a man is what a man does. And I think that was actually like one of like the homeworks from Super Nanny was like, why don't you have an emotional experience with your sons? Why don't you have an experience where it's not about physicality, where you're just connecting with them emotionally? And he just looked at her like dumbfounded. It was just like, oh my god. I feel for everybody in the collective who's gone through their stuff, because everybody's got their stuff, but the collective of men has been so repressed in their own way, just like feminine, you know, the female collective has been repressed in their own way. And like, this whole being a man and the burden and responsibility of what that is, and how much like men have to suppress who they really are, and that emotional part of them, it just makes me really feel for them, and it makes me very sad. And especially when I see it in the men that I have had in my life, you know, family or romantic or otherwise, or people that I've just had like admiration for, like, oh my god, it really, really hits my heart. Like, it really does. And I just like want to like go in and hug them and just be like, it's okay to be you. It's okay. And kids just be like, I don't know what's going on. What is this? Yeah, totally, right? Totally. When you were in Louisiana, I don't think I got to finish the show, if I remember correctly. There was some pretty strong feelings you had. Did you ever elaborate on it? Oh god, Louisiana? That was like, It's like that was like literally actually, we're in July. That might have been exactly 3 years ago. That might have, like, literally to the day, that might have been exactly 3 years ago. I'd be tempted to look it up. I don't remember what I talked about. I don't remember what I talked about back then. I know someone forced to fight at 5. I didn't want to, so I was crying while it was happening. I just want to hug people's inner child. I know, right? What is Super Nanny? It's junk reality TV from like I don't know if it was early 2000s or late 90s. I remember watching it when it came on the air when I was a kid, or younger. And so now there's a bunch of clips and episodes on YouTube. So again, just junk TV, my guilty pleasure. And I was talking about that earlier, where I don't know why it fascinates me. I think because it's a world that is so not a part of my reality, like having to raise children and like be parents. It was 2000s. Oh god, so it's probably older than I remember being when it came on. So I was like preteen. I was preteen when it came on. I remember it on TV2 back then when it was new. Oh, I remember the first episode of American Idol. Like, makes me definitely feel dated. Anyway, I love Joe. Like, I love who they cast to be the nanny, and she's done a lot of her own stuff since then. Like, she's a powerhouse, and she's got great energy. I just love her. Like, I feel like this is totally her niche. Like, you know, with reality TV, people look at people like, oh, you're on reality TV, like you're a sellout, right? I don't look at her and feel that. Like, I feel like this is definitely a passion of hers to like help people parent their children, like help people to correctly, not correctly, but well, no, correctly, like to nourish their children emotionally and to bring them up with confidence, right? I really enjoy her and her interviews and all the other stuff she's done since then. I try to get other men to realize it's okay to be vulnerable. Brotherly affection goes a long way. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, men also need men. Like, they do that. Like, men need brotherhood. Just like women need sisterhood, too. Are you single? Yes, I am. Very single. And I see such a lack of healthy brotherhood available to men. And it makes me sad because that's, like, so needed. So I would love to be part of helping men in that way, whether it's finding men who can do that and provide that space, or working one-on-one with men and then help them get into more of like a male collective to heal and grow spiritually. Just joining. Hope you all are doing well. Hey, doing pretty good. I love Joe's Super Nanny, my guilty pleasure. It's the child psychology. Yes, it's like it's like it's hard not to watch. No kidding. Part of that toxic masculine stuff. Reality TV, it's been ingrained with the Disney effect for years. So many fatherless households has destroyed the family structure. It's not, yes, that's definitely been a thing, but it's also a distortion issue from both sides too. Like, I know with females, and again, I've experienced this in my own household, you know, within my own family. I've experienced this with myself. Really being pushed to take on such a masculine role, right? And then it turns into this vicious cycle, right? Because that really does devalue men and doesn't allow them the space to really step up in the position of their own masculinity. And that's just as toxic, you know? That's just as toxic. And there are men out there who are very well adjusted, very, very connected and centered in who they are and their own masculinity. And you know, it's beautiful to see that, just like it's beautiful to see a very like well-adjusted female who's very centered in her own femininity and all aspects of herself. Like, they do exist. They do exist. But yeah, when it comes to the distortions that have affected both men and women, it happens on both ends. It happens from mothers and fathers. It happens from both sides. You know, nobody is totally innocent in any of that, you know? I've been working one-to-one with men in military for years and might say in some ways they're more sensitive than women. It's amazing how much they feel. Yeah, men are emotional creatures. Like, humans are emotional. Humans are heart-centered beings, right? They're heart-centered beings, regardless of their gender or whatever else. And I think we've just come so far away from that, and obviously we're coming home to that. But yeah, men have a lot of feelings. Men have a lot of emotions. And for me anyway, it's refreshing to see that, like when it comes out, when they can honor that in a healthy way, just like with females, right? When they can honor that in a healthy way. The struggle in breaking this overly strong masculine energy is tough, especially as a woman. I was raised masculine, so I struggle to be vulnerable. Yeah, same. Like so many women. Like, and that's also something that I experienced too in my reality. And like balancing out both sides is taking a lot of work. It's taking a lot of freaking work. But this has always been the program, and you know exactly for whom. I think there are a lot of people who've been embedded with that program. I think a lot of people. And you know, this is also something else that I wish I was seeing more in the collective, and maybe like, you know, maybe we'll get there at some point. But being able to acknowledge that, yes, my perception and my reality of the people in my mind who have suffered in the world, like, yes, that holds true. But to be able to look at somebody and to recognize that they have suffered too, and their people have suffered too. Like, everybody has suffered, okay? Let's put it that way. Everybody has suffered, and it'd be nice to be able to see the collective, be able to sit in a space where they can acknowledge that without resentment, and they can acknowledge that without being triggered or feeling like in some way their own suffering is not recognized. It'd be nice to see that. Oh, Clyde. Yeah, that was Clyde making a little appearance. As much compassion and understanding as we can hold, it's up to the individual to break those chains within themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. 100%. 100%. Oh, everybody wanted to say hi. Sorry, I grabbed him so fast. It's such an instinct. Hey, Clyde, you want to say hi? Are you like, don't touch me again? He's probably hungry. That's probably what it is. He's probably ready for dinner. No? Are you going to stay down there? I'm sure you guys can hear him. Yeah, he's like slinking off. He'll probably be back. He's like, follow me and feed me, please. As a female raised by a single father, I find myself drawn to men raised by single mothers. It feels like mirrored balance sometimes. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. His little meows are so adorable. They are, aren't they? Aren't they? He's so cute. I love him. Understood to the fullest. Just want all the progress. All the progress. Yeah, same. Like, it'd be nice if we could recognize there doesn't have to be suffering. Like, not in the scale that we see it, right? Let me put it this way. There's struggle, and then there's suffering, right? Struggle doesn't have to bring suffering. Challenge is part of life, like no matter what kind of reality we're living in, right? That's always a thing, but like doesn't have to bring on suffering. Balancing femininity with a debilitated Venus does not help. I know what you mean. I am the healing ancestor. I used alcohol for quite a while to numb emotion, but it made me more vulnerable. Simple walking and not drinking is the answer, lol. And music is so good and therapeutic. I wish we had better educations. Yeah. Oh God, don't even get me started on education. We're not taught so many things that would abolish so much needless suffering. And it's intentional, right? Like, that's not a coincidence. Like, it's very intentional that we're not taught a lot of things like that. Anyway, I could get on a whole soapbox about it, but I don't. So let's not even invite in that energy. Aloha, Esmeralda. I love seeing Clyde so much. I had to give up my Siamese. No. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. I don't think I could ever give him up. Like, I don't think I ever could. Ever. But I've been on here for about over an hour and a half. My butt's actually getting sore. So I'm going to hop off. But this was a cool little Friday night hangout. I do lives on Patreon too. So I just felt compelled to go on YouTube. So I just kind of listened to that. Normally I just hop onto Patreon. I'm probably going to do a Patreon live before I leave, or maybe when I land in Sedona. I don't know yet. But one or the other. Anyway, so my patrons are watching. You guys will see me soon too. Hold on. You've been chatting with us for so long. Yeah, like I said, I was just feeling it. I was just vibing with it. I just came. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Everybody's giving love to Clyde. Hey, Clyde. Clyde? Oh, he's not even in the room anymore. All right, guys, have a really good night. Have a great weekend. Like I said, the weeklies will post here on Monday. It's already posted on Patreon. Yeah, and enjoy and be happy and play. And I'll see you guys later, okay? And oh yeah, I might not be posting a lot here on YouTube while I'm gone. I don't know yet. I cannot say for sure. Whatever I feel in the moment is just what I do. So anyway, love you guys. Have a really good night, okay? Take care.